Welcome to day 149. We're in Proverbs 8 through 10. And wonderful section of Proverbs. The whole book of Proverbs is awesome. I'll be saying it throughout the whole reading, but there's just so many things to talk about that are so cool in the book of Proverbs. So I've got about 5 or 6 things here I want to talk about today. Wisdom. Wisdom is a crazy thing. Let's talk about what wisdom is. If you start reading Proverbs 8, it talks all about what wisdom can be, and that it's an actual person, not necessarily a human, but some sort of being of some sort. You might even say that God is wisdom himself. But let's just read a couple things, not the whole thing. I have verses 22 through 31. I'm not going to read all of them. Just read the first few in the beginning. The Lord formed me, wisdom, from the beginning, before he created anything else, before the universe was made. Okay? I was appointed in ages past, at the very first, before the earth began. I was born before the oceans were created, before the springs bubbled forth their waters, before the mountains were formed. Okay, so understanding this part is pretty cool because you have this idea of wisdom. And when did it start? Think about that. When did wisdom start? I would love to have wisdom. I'd love to have knowledge. Well, think about all the things, love and all this stuff. When did all those things start? Well, those things didn't start until humanity started. And the very last thing in that set of verses, it says, "And how happy I was with the world he created, how I rejoiced with the human family." So all of that stuff was created before humanity. It was created for humanity. So that just blows my mind that the infinity of God's wisdom and his creation, that he created that before the necessity of wisdom and knowledge and love and truth before humanity began. So another thing I want to talk about is wisdom's house. So in your list of sevens on Proverbs 9 verse 1, wisdom has built her house. She has carved its 7 columns. Stop right there. 7 columns. So there's your number 7 again. And here's the thing. So is this house a physical house? No, I don't think it's a physical house. Just like you're building up your own maturity. You're building your own personality. Your own reputation. That's not a physical thing. But wisdom is something that we want to achieve. And it's like wisdom has already built something wonderful for humanity, and we are to chase after it. Correcting mockers. I wrote this down as like a future thing. Like whenever I say future, I mean like right now. For when this was written that applies to something today. Now this applies to all time, but really today, if you think about it, this is really was talking about today. Proverbs 9. I'm sorry. Yes, Proverbs 9 verse 8, 7 and 8. Anyone who rebukes a mocker will get an insult in return. Anyone who corrects the wicked will get hurt. Think about that. If you even correct somebody who's doing something wrong, they don't say, "I'm sorry." These are bad people. These are people, not necessarily evil people. They could be apathetic people, but they don't like being corrected. So don't bother correcting mockers. They will only hate you. But correct the wise and they will love you. I'm a teacher and I can tell you it is obvious between people who want to be good and find wisdom and people who are mockers that don't care. They may say the exact same thing, do something wrong. This person is going to hate me for it, and this student's going to be like, okay, I need to go a different direction. And that's what wisdom in these sections is talking about. People who are chasing after wisdom are going to find it. People who are chasing after bad things will find bad things. The foundation of wisdom, verse 10. Fear of the Lord is the foundation of wisdom. Knowledge of the Holy One results in good judgment. So fear of the Lord, understanding He is all-powerful and all-knowing, obviously way past our understanding. He is infinite in everything, and just this section, today's teaching is really kind of opening that up to us. Don't wink at wrongdoing. Chapter 10, verse 10. People who wink at wrongdoing cause trouble, but a bold reproof promotes peace. So if you see somebody doing something silly and it's wrong, and you kind of like think it's funny because they're trying to get away with it, and you wink at it, that promotes that wrongdoing. And we got to really try to be better at that sort of thing. All it is a foothold. That's all they need. So now, last thing, good versus bad is how I entitled this. Chapter 10, verse 25. When the storms of life come, the wicked are whirled away, but the godly have a lasting foundation. The point is, godly people like us who are trying to get to know God more, who are trying to get this knowledge and this wisdom and searching for it, doing things like this, we are the ones that have a good foundation. And then when trouble comes, we're okay. We get through it. We may cry. We may, shake our fist at God sometimes and then realize, okay, it's not God. God's here with us. He is helping us through the fire. And that's what sets us apart from everybody else. And we need that. We need each other, and we have God in the process. And it's obvious who follows after God and who doesn't. Who follows after wisdom, if you will. So that is your day 149. I'll see you tomorrow.